Subscribe to our YouTube channel, News Now Nation, for in-depth interviews and press the bell icon so you do not miss any of our updates.
Welcome to News Now Nation. We have today Mr. Kunal Prasad, who is the founder of Cropin. Cropin is an intuitive and self-evolving system that delivers future-ready solutions, farming solutions to the entire agricultural sector. It is empowering the economies of the agri ecosystem. Welcome, Kunal.
Thank you, Ria. Thank you so much for this wonderful talk.
So we will just begin by knowing a little about Cropin from you. What does Cropin do and how did it come into existence?
Okay, so Cropin is basically an ag fintech company. We started back in 2010, and the objective of Cropin was to bring data-driven technology solutions in the field of agriculture to empower all the stakeholders across the value chain, starting up from farmers to help them in terms of doing agriculture in the best possible manner, to the value chain to the extension workers, to the organizations which are working in the agriculture sector, to the end customer, which is demanding for safe, traceable products for them to consume. This was the overall objective, to basically bring a holistic solution for solving the larger problem of agriculture from all angles, from digitization to advisories to also bringing value chain together to engage with the set of farmers. In the last 10 years, we basically brought in multiple products. When we started, it was more about digital agriculture. But as we move downward in our journey, we actually then moved from farm management direct solutions to supply chain based solutions to now more on the risk and the insurance side. We're using a lot of machine learning AI, using satellite data to predict a farmer's land, what could be the worthiness of the particular farmer, and bring access to finance for them. We are working with the largest insurance program with the government's Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, which is helping the government to remotely assess the yield of the plots and the farms and things around that. So a lot happening in the field of agriculture, and we as a tech company is supporting institutions, businesses, governments, development sector to engage with their business with the farmers efficiently.
Right. So you're kind of adding a lot value to the society, basically bringing technology to the agricultural space.
Absolutely.
Right. So what were some of the challenges that you faced while setting up Cropin? How did you see solving a real life problem?
Yeah, so I think when we started, the challenges were different back then. The challenges are different right now. But the fundamental problem statement that we really wanted to solve was to take away the inefficiency from the agricultural ecosystem. And inefficiency was in terms of production inefficiency, where the farmer would not be able to maximize the per acre value or per acre production from his particular farmland. Inefficiencies that was more in terms of supply chain, where businesses or buyers would not be able to effectively plan their logistics, plan their procurement, and there was almost 30 to 40% losses happening for certain category of products. Inefficiency from a perspective of banks or insurance not being able to finance a large majority of the farmers, which were still unbankable. So these were some of the inefficiencies that we have seen as problem statement. That's what we started to solve, and I think in a certain way the challenges have changed. Back in 2010, that period, it was more about not having access to data. Internet was not available all the places. Smartphones, because that's the way where we bring transformation at the field level and at the farm level, that were not held majority by the farmers and the extension workers. So we had to bring those things and for the stakeholders. But now things have transformed. There is much more digital revolution happening. Everyone is now having smartphone. Internet access is available at a much more lesser cost and things like that. So I think that's how we have seen challenges have changed, but the ecosystem is more supportive.
Okay, definitely. So I think it's been an interesting journey for you.
Absolutely.
So what is your take on India's agri-tech sector, if you had to say?
I think it's wonderful. It's thriving at a much accelerated pace. Every month and every quarter, you would see hundreds of startups are joining in the agriculture space, and all for the reason that we have around 140 million farmers and spread across the length and breadth of the country in different climatic zones, different problem statement at production level, at market linkage level, at finance level, at insurance level. and there are so many solutions which is required. So I think the biggest advantage in India is the diversity it has, and the diversity from all segments, right? So it gives a huge opportunity for a lot of innovations to happen, and I think that's what the startups are bringing to the table. And once we are innovating in India, it also brings us the learning, and this innovation is being taken by a lot of companies, including us, to other parts of the world. So for us as Cropin, we innovated in India till 2015, and now in the last 5 6 years, we have gone global with more than 50 plus countries across the world.
Oh,
We are
wow.
operating. So I think that's how the transformation is happening, and India is now one of the front runners in terms of building tech solutions for not only the country but also for the globe.
Great. So what sets you apart from the other agri-tech startups? Like, what is that one thing that Cropin is really proud about?
I think we started. I mean, we were the first in the journey. We took the risk much before the curve actually picked up. So we have that advantage of having the full stack solution right now to have helped the entire ecosystem with a complete comprehensive solution. The second, so which means our platform is really robust. Like, in a platform, we have more than 9,400 different crop varieties, which is already configured and there for ecosystem to come and take advantage. We have the experience of delivering results with more than 250 plus programs and organizations that we have supported. So there's a lot of learning when you actually help them to be successful in their digital journey. So that's a large experience that we bring to the table. We also have a promise of building the best in class cutting edge technologies, right? So we have innovated, we have seen that journey, and we know what is the problem statement for the future, and we are innovating in a much faster pace, like, bringing AI, bringing machine learning, using satellite data, and building those solutions which will be used for the not only for today but also for tomorrow. So I think these are some of the clear differentiation which Cropin has, and that's why larger programs like companies like Syngenta, which are using our platform for implementing in more than 30 plus companies, one single program, right? So that's the scale that we are operating. We work with Punjab government across with more than 500,000 farmers across acres over there to bring transformation. So I think advantage is all about our learning experience and the length and breadth of the solution that we offer to our partners.
Great. So what's like the vision of the company? Where do you see Cropin in the next few years?
Yeah, so we want to be the global leaders in solving the agriculture challenge and in entirety. And the vision is to make every single farm traceable on our platform. So we should know exactly what's happening at what point in time in which particular farm, so that the ecosystem can connect efficiently with these farmers, and the value could be created from not only at the production level but across seamlessly across the supply chain till the produce reaches to the end customer. We are now talking about leadership in sustainability programs, which is happening across in developed countries like Europe, Americas, and all. We are talking about carbon coalitions, which is what we are also a part of. So we are moving towards from digital solutions to also talking about the future, which is more about climate smart agriculture, carbon plus farming coalitions, sustainability, and things around that. So I think in that particular perspective, we really are looking at solving not only the agriculture problem but also a large global problem which is there existing.
Okay. And how, how do you think you're like adding value to the society?
Obviously, as a result of our interventions, the bottom of the pyramid, which is the farming community, right? In India, we have around 120 million farmers which are there, right? So they are getting benefited because, as a result of our digital interventions, we have seen improvement in productivity, improvement in income, reduction in losses happening to the end beneficiary, which is the farmer. For businesses, we have seen their efficiencies between 20 to 50% in terms of better managing the operations, better planning the team, reduction in the cost, reducing the losses, better planning, and opening up newer markets for them, which were not available earlier because there was a lack of trust and transparency. So with these digital technologies, they are able to find better markets. They're able to create that trust with their partners. They are able to share traceability of their products that they're selling in other markets. So I think from a holistic perspective, not only the farmers have benefited and will benefit, but also the ecosystem is benefiting by better bringing the services to all of the stakeholders.
Right. And what's your take on government supporting startups? Like, do you think they're doing enough?
I think the current government is really very, very startup friendly. When the current government came in 2014, there was a big the thing that happened that almost 300 entrepreneurs were invited by the Prime Minister to talk about like innovations in the field of in India, right? So
Right.
Champions of Change was one of the initiatives that back then, and it actually promoted a lot of entrepreneurs to come to a platform, talk at length about like larger challenges and how to solve that. So I think from the first step where the government came to a lot of initiatives that's happening these days about Startup India, support that's coming from all different from getting access to finance to getting access to ecosystems, from government support at the center and the state levels. I think it has become very, very supportive for startups to come and thrive and innovate in India.
Great. And what part of the business like really excites you?
I think the most excitement comes when you really see the transformation happening at the bottom of the pyramid, when a small farmer in some part of the country is seeing the benefit of being going digital and getting benefited from income enhancement happening at that particular level. So that's something that really inspires, and that's the bottom that's what is basically Cropin is for, right? We want to transform and increase the per acre value, and the happiness of the farmer is something that really keeps us inspired to bring in more and more innovations and solve this larger problem of agriculture altogether.
Right. And how has the pandemic affected your business? Has it been good or bad, or how is it?
So digital has seen a growth, because of challenges in pandemic, the field operations were all struggling. So the good thing is the institutions which had digital interventions, they were able to still work with this set of farmers, communicate with them, train them, understand the challenges, solve them remotely through our mobile and web-based applications. So I think that was important. Institutions which were not on the digital journey, they started seeing that as an advantage. So a lot of them have actually started initiating pilots to understand how digital can be used in their organizations, and a lot of programs have actually also picked up at scale. So I think the pandemic has really seen the digital revolution accelerating at a much faster pace,
Right.
and I see this trend to be going upward in coming times.
Right. And coming towards the end of the interview, so how has your journey been as an entrepreneur?
So yeah, so I think it's always fascinating. When you have really contributed. On our platform, we are working with almost 7 million farmers right now. We have contributed to the success of these many number of farmers through so many other institutions. I think it gives us so much pride in saying this particular thing. But obviously, as an entrepreneur journey, it's always it's like a sine curve going upwards. You have your bits of challenges that comes at different points in time. You have to run through those things. With all of the strength that you have, and then once you cross that barrier, then probably the success is there for you. So we have seen that tough times in the initial years, and now we are also, and as we are innovating and going to the market, we always have those good things and the challenges that we always see. And I think that's a part of this entrepreneur's journey, and we really being in that for the last 10 years. It has made us stronger. It has much more given us resilience and the strength to do it at a much larger scale.
Nice. And what is that one thing that kind of keeps you going? That whenever you might feel there's an obstacle, but that one thing that keeps you going.
Yeah, I think we are now we have just scratched the surface. Now we are just at 7 million farmers out of the large opportunity of the 570 million farmers across the globe. We are just 7 million farmers. So there's a huge opportunity which is there. I think that keeps us going, that there's much more that we have to solve, many number of farmers that can actually get benefit from this, many more institutions which could leverage this platform to reduce inefficiencies, make food for the future accessible to all. And I think the journey of the future is going to be data driven, technology driven, and for what we have done in the past would give us a much more accelerated pace of growing and supporting in the future. So I think that keeps us going.
Right. And just last question, any tips for a future CEO, someone who's starting out?
No, I think so one of the important things that we have really realized is that the first is fundamentally that the product that you're doing should be the right fit. Right now, you have to understand the problem statement, right? Whether the solution that you're bringing is actually solving some problem. And there is a person who can share the challenge that is being faced, someone can actually come back and pay you for that particular service, right? So if that fundamental thing is right, the product market fit, then that gives you the first fundamental thing. And then obviously the other thing is about the team, the execution, how well you execute. It's not about the idea, it's about how well you have executed that particular idea. And then as you execute it rightly, you have a support from incubators, investors, other startups to come and support in that side. So I think it's a wonderful journey. And if you are really innovative and you have the right problem statements to tap, just get started.
Great. Thank you, Kunal. It was really wonderful interacting with you. We got to learn some really new and cool insights about the agri-tech space. So thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you.